concerning the planned development on Lincoln Park.
The proposed request for a planned development is to allow for the development of primarily a residential subdivision. I will also note there is a 1 acre commercial tract that is part of this. But again, by and large, this particular project is residential in nature. This planned development essentially establishes development standards for what I'll call duet home lots. Duet homes are essentially kind of a combination between a townhome and a duplex. Staff is supportive of this request by and large and do believe that a residential neighborhood at this part of town as a gateway into the city from the east is fitting.
So we have 23 homes that are the SF75s. We have 65 homes that are the SF65s. And then we have 50 homes that are the duet homes for a total of 138 homes. And that ends up being 2.74 units per acre. The hike and bike trail is about 3,000 linear feet, more than half a mile. I think it's going to be a wonderful addition. It's next to open space that's added next to the floodplain to accent that. And this will be a very beautiful area for the citizens of Van Alstyne. There'll be lots of parking availability for guests along the open space, so that people that come and visit this area to use the hike and bike trail would have ample opportunity to park. This would be running right along the natural stream there and all the way through the property. The bridge would look something like this with decorative stone enhancement and possibly with brick at the intersections of the different streets to accent and augment the beauty of the area. So the 1 acre commercial tract is located up at the very northeast corner. We kind of picture this as a perfect place for a daycare center. So in conclusion, I believe that Summerhill is a development that will enhance the city of Van Alstyne, offers a variety of home types. It continues the north-south thoroughfare connection and definitely extends the hike and bike trail. We follow the natural terrain in order to enhance the environmental aspect the most, and added a lot of curvilinear streets, which slows down traffic and also enhances streetscapes. We respectfully ask for your support.
My concern is for my property. The plan shows that the water will wash off onto mine.
And my concerns, prior years, I don't recall any duplexes being parked or do-set homes. The other issue that I would like to address is Wilson McKinney ball field with Ballpark Road. If you abandon that road, I lose egress to the north, and then the infrastructure that we have today. Are the current residents basically left behind, not to see any improvements around this? Looks like a nice, possibly nice development.
My main concern is it's way too many houses. 121 is only 2 lanes because we do not have the infrastructure.
We spoke about this last time with Lincoln Point as well, where we made it a priority to have 2 entrances and 2 exits to every neighborhood. This has 1. We need to be proactive in making sure that the citizens of Van Alstyne are taken care of and that we have access for fire and EMS.
What is your vision for this development? What's that going to look like? Is it going to be a place where they could have, ball practice out there, or what does that look like?
The area that's near the hike and bike trail and
Right.
the area that's in the center of that hike and bike trail, that would definitely be all mowed and maintained so that it would be a benefit to the city.
What is going to happen in the meantime with Lincoln Park? Are we going to put a T-head on it? Are we going to put that's a 6-lane thoroughfare through there, right? Or is that a 4-lane?
It's a 6-lane.
Okay.
It's an ultimate 6-lane. It will be built To answer the question of the lady, we should build the infrastructure first. The reason why the infrastructure doesn't get built first is because the developer
Yeah.
builds it.
Yeah, it's a chicken and egg thing, I get it.
We would be putting in two of the 6 lanes, and then as the property grows and population grows, then eventually it will expand. Over 4 acres are being dedicated, given to the city. We're hoping that as this development goes in, then, someone may come in and want to develop part or all of the Ballard property, and then they would be obligated to build the 2 lanes that would connect to Ballard Road.
I think a single-family development would go well in this location. I appreciate the proposal, but I have some concerns. So the runoff is a major concern. I can say with certainty that I cannot support this without some firm contractual things being in writing. I think the number of duet homes are too many. I do agree the duet home looks way better than a cookie cutter duplex. I would think that if we reduce the number of homes as presented, I can't support it. Enforcement of the runoff, yeah, we all have heard this from everybody. Yep, we can't have the runoff down the road, but I know for a fact that it happens, and it happens a lot. So I have concerns about that. And like I said, I can't support it unless there are some hard things that say you will be held accountable.
The development standards that are included in your packet would be part of a plan development ordinance. They would be enforceable. Ultimately, you have the authority to deliberate and make a motion to approve, deny, approve with conditions, and that would go on to the city council for their consideration. And so if the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval subject to modifying X, Y, and Z, that'll be the formal recommendation that goes to city council for the council to consider.
I was very impressed with the duet homes when you gave the original presentation. I think that's way better than any kind of combination homes that we see all over. I don't like that there's that many of them that's in there. Having one road in is a real problem. You have an emergency at that intersection, and you have an intersection that is going to be so busy because 121 is not going to widen at that point, not anytime soon. And because of that, the railroad track, all that stuff backs up right there. There's no alternate way in. And that is a real concern of mine. As it stands, without an alternate way in, to be able to have that, I couldn't support it.
I think you can leave Ballpark Lane open onto 121 and put Lincoln Park in at that point.
Yeah, well, because that is a TxDOT facility, TxDOT will make the final decision on it.
But your guess would be?
My guess would be is that they're going to close Ballpark Way, and Ballpark Way would connect to Lincoln Park. So there'd be a back door in, and there'd be a second entrance.
So it solves multiple issues, either connect to Bowen or Ballpark Lane.
And we're totally willing to work with the city on that.
Any motion that's going to be made will connect to Ballpark Lane.
The duets, again, I think it's something that the city needs. There's definitely a market for that. Varying them slightly, I think that could cause, could result in some attractive features, but also I don't want a 5-foot setback in the front or the back,
No, the minimum in either the front or the back would be 20.
I agree. I think there's way too many duets. I think that homeowners should not be doing their own fencing. This piece of property is challenging because of the topography, because of the floodplain.
Yep.
It's not going to be easily developed. We saw that the last go around.
If we got down to 113, I would vote yes for it.
I guess I just have to see where they're laid out, but I could get there.
Lincoln Point's 2.42 lots per acre.
Yeah.
And we're suggesting 2.57. In addition to the difficulty of the track, the floodplain, and the parcels, I'd like to point out that by dedicating the full width of the right-of-way, we're giving up 2.3 acres of developable land that typically we would not have to develop. I think the equitable number, because we're giving up the full width of the right-of-way, 232, we're offering 228 right now. So I'd like y'all to consider that, or at least make a recommendation that we can work with within a couple lots of that number.
It's a unique spot because of the traffic, because of, it's not like on the west side of town where we got 4 lanes of 121 and we've got Colin McKinney Parkway being built. I get it, you have to have the development to get the road, but I'm not willing to sell the soul to get the road. I'm willing to compromise. I threw out 113. I make a motion that we continue the public hearing until next month.
Okay, is there a second? Second. There's a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.